After traveling up the western side of Tanzania, we crossed the southern border of Uganda, a country filled with promises of forests, lakes, the Nile River, exotic birds, and gorillas, to name but a few. We entered the country via the Mutukula border post, a busy commercial crossing, where we learned it helps to be willing to waste more time over a matter than the border post official does himself, only it is a difficult thing to accomplish. In the busy town of Masaka, we recovered at Villa Katwe, a little backpacker's lodge where Joey the dog makes everyone feel right at home. In this episode, we share more about our travels to Lake Mburo National Park in the south, traveling up towards the Mabamba swamps near Lake Victoria.
From Masaka, we navigated Ugandan traffic of all kinds until we reached Lake Kachira, where we set up camp for the night. Hiking around this bushveld area, we encountered safari ants, various animals, and bird species new to us. Close by lies the Lake Mburo National Park. The park has various beautiful marshy glades, ridges, forested lake edges, and many euphorbia trees that make you feel not far from Nylstrom in South Africa. We had great sightings of interesting creatures that are new to our species list that cannot be found in Southern Africa. Unlike fenced parks in South Africa, it is common to find local cattle within park boundaries. This specific Ankole even towered above Baloo with its impressive blowbill horns.
In Mburo, we also learned that dry season in Uganda means it rains only once a day. After our lakeside lunch got drenched by a downpour, we set off on what seemed to be a well-traveled path. We didn't even notice the ever so slight change in mud color, from brown to the dreaded black cotton, and there we were, Baloo doing a muddy, wheel-spinning mambo without any trace of traction. Luckily, the trusty Max tracks proved their worth, and we were soon on our way again to explore more of the park. That night at the leopard campsite just outside the park, we even toasted a few rooiworsies on the coals, the closest we have come to a braai in quite some time.
Traveling north, passing by various drive-through fish merchants, we crossed the equator for the first time, a momentous occasion for both us and Baloo, dampened only slightly by the rather touristy Curious village in the background. But it was still a big moment, so we snuck in the obligatory selfies with even Baloo getting his turn. We made our way through bouncy roads to a unique community project called Kachira Cycling, a professional-grade cycling track. Considering how widely used bicycles are every day in Uganda, it is little wonder that the course was filled with children having an absolute blast when we visited. A beautiful play park and cafe is currently being built to create a self-sustaining center for the community through the medium of cycling.
A bit further on is the Nchima Forest Lodge where we set up camp for a few days. Nchima is located in a patch of lush indigenous forest on an isolated hill overlooking the Mabamba swamps. Here we were awed for the first time by many of Uganda's wonderful forest-dwelling creatures. We also witnessed great sunsets paired with equally great local craft beers. We visited the local fishing village on the shores of Lake Victoria to examine the local catch and probe unsuccessfully for the elusive Nile perch. Perch 1, Theo and Simone 0, but we will be back soon.
Close by lies the Mabamba swamp, a semi-protected wetland on the fringes of Lake Victoria, literally within sight of Entebbe Airport. It is a birding hotspot and provides suitable habitat to many wetland species, including the enigmatic shoebill. We headed out in a local boat with a community guide, who did an impressive balancing act standing on the bow while he scanned the papyrus for signs of the elusive grey giant. After our long day searching for one in Zambia, we prepared for a similar escapade. Big was our surprise when we pulled up almost right next to a hunting shoebill. This prehistoric-looking bird gave us an unforgettable show of flying, prancing on floating reeds, intense focusing, and even catching a lungfish for breakfast. It is our hope that these fragile habitats remain protected for the magnificent creatures they support to flourish. Our first taste of overlanding through Uganda was fantastic, and we cannot wait to explore it further.
Here are some handy trip tips for the southern part of Uganda. For more info on these, head to the blog link in the description below. Join us in our next episode when we head up the Nile River towards the Murchison Falls.